Alrighty, guys. It is time to wrap it up for today. It's 3:30. It is Wednesday, July 23rd, and we got an interesting market for sure. They popped pretty good here in the afternoon. A nice move to the upside, and you can see here has something happened here right after the London close, probably a trade deal announcement or something. But look at that pop, big pop, and then just kind of drifting, 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 drifting. A little high here, retest of the high. And then nice retest failure going on there, and then right back up again. Nice little rally, and then finally run out of gas. Now it's just going sideways. 6,400, almost, almost. So it's interesting. Not sure exactly what the news was, but I would expect it would be some sort of a trade announcement or something like that going on there. The fact that they took out the highs, puts us right back in stage one again, guys. So we are looking at another move out of the middle to the upside, and we're going into earnings. So we're getting into Google earnings and the Tesla earnings. I think we have IBM earnings too after the close. We're going to be a lot of stuff happening after the close here in half an hour or so. But market is to the upside, so we'll see where they end up. Right now, we're going to start from the long side. No reason to not to do anything else. We're going to buy weakness down to this level. And I would say now you're looking to buy down to the breakout point. So you're down to buying the last one would be at the 63.50s. So looking at buying against the first one, 75. There could be something in between here. I have to kind of think about that in the overnight. But the breakout point right now is 75. That would be the obvious reverse retest. Next level down is going to be somewhere around here. I mean, I had to kind of readjust. It probably, well, may pop it up to 65s here, that little low volume area. And the next is going to be down here at the 63.55 to 60s. So looking to buy weakness, if it starts trading below this area, the 63.55s, we're going back range bound and backing off at that point. And it can certainly happen after hours, depending on how the earnings comes out. It can certainly happen. This to me feels very much like a very interesting move to the upside. So, but the way it's moving, stay on the long side of the market. So I've not traded the ES. I only did a couple of trades on the Nasdaq earlier on. Since then, I've been doing something else, maybe busy with some other stuff. Bond market, just before I keep going, this is not going anywhere. It's going sideways. So range bound bond market. We had 1 o'clock. That was a 20-year auction. Not much of a reaction to that one. So nothing going on there. So range bound trading on the bonds. Nasdaq also spectacularly moved to the upside. Look at that pop right there. Now, they did not get as far up as I wanted it to. I mean, they're not quite up there at the highs. They need to take out that 350. So Nasdaq is still range bound. Stage two, range bound. We'll see where they end up after the news comes out this afternoon. But Nasdaq is not making new highs. It's kind of stalling, and we'll see how it shakes out now after the news comes out. So I would start off from the long side of the market just to get started. If this closes about below the 275s, the 65 to 75s here, initial balance, I look at that as pretty much the breakout point here. And if they retest that trade below that into that initial balance, we're going back range bound on this. So we'll see how it shakes out. But it could be some interesting action going on the Nasdaq after the close. So watch out for that. But I mean, at this point, I would just start off range bound on the Nasdaq. The ES is starting from the long side, Nasdaq range bound, so they are different right now. Going into the big tech earnings, I think the Nasdaq is a little bit in a holding pattern. So looking to fade edges, sell up to that 350. So short setups against the 310s and the 350s. Looking to buy against support 200s and the 150s, maybe even down to the 120s here for rotations back up. And we'll see how this whole thing shakes out after the close. And then finally, oil and gold. Now, this whole the earnings, this is the next few days of earning on the big techs could certainly rock the market. It could take it, set it off on the upside. It could also rock it in terms of taking some disappointment and big moves to the downside. So market is wound up. Making new highs on light volume. It could certainly spell a nice move to the downside. Starting with oil, as range bound, so that's going to be a quick one. Nothing much to say about it. That's range bound trading on oil, pretty tight range. Gold, however, complete meltdown. Look at that, part of the pun. They took out support. They finally took out the 34.15s. I was not paying attention at the time, but look at that move out of the middle. They came to balance. Intraday move out of the middle. You can see an F period. I just split that out. Look at that, right there. Nice move out of the middle, and they're down here testing the 33.95s, probing below it. And then finally racked up above it. So I would say at this point, looking for weakness to retest these lows at 95s and the 90s. Looking for buying opportunities there, reverse retest of this level, but I would be inclined to see them running it down here too. We are right at the 3400 attractor, so I'm looking for early weakness. But if they can't take it lower, we are probably going sideways here, right at this attractor. So gold, complete reversal. I mean, the big rally to the upside here, and now a complete reversal back to that value area. And if they initially we're going to start from the short side, see if you can retest these lows, maybe take it lower back to that 3340s. If not, probably going to stay here, go sideways around the 3400. So that's gold for you. All right, back to the ES. So back to the ES, and that thing right now is looking like we are, yeah, we're looking at pretty much in a holding pattern. So Nasdaq pulling back a little bit, but at this point, nothing much is going on one way or the other. So we'll see. So yeah, the only thing I had was two trades on the Nasdaq. I'm down $2 on that, so that's just a scratch day. So we'll leave it there, guys, and I'll see you back in the morning, and we'll go at it again. Now, news for tomorrow, yes, real quick. News for tomorrow, a little bit more news. You had jobless claims, Chicago Fed at 8:30, PMI composite at 9:45, and new home sales at 10. So a little bit of news tomorrow, but not a crazy amount. All right, see you in the morning. Later.